If you thought last week's episode was something, no, this week got just as good, if not better. Hello everyone, Mega Man NG here, and it's time now for another Samurai Jack episode review. The episodes are winding down. We're now at the 7th episode, and with my thoughts on XCVIII. So here's the deal, I will be providing a summary of this episode, as well as what I consider to be some of the main points. Let's face it, this episode was just perfect all around, and so awesome. Let us begin. 50 years ago, Jack sought out the last time portal, only to be stopped by Aku, who destroys it. In a blind rain, Jack tries to attack him, only to murder some innocent creatures. In turn, he has lost his sword, and lost his way. In the present, Jack and Ashi travel to the place where Jack lost his way. But in order to do that, he must enter the spiritual plane. Ashi, meanwhile, protects Jack while having to contend with an army that is ordered to kill Jack, as well as her own mother. Can Ashi be able to protect Jack? And can Jack be able to regain what he had lost? If last week's episode centered on Ashi journeying and learning that Jack was telling the truth, then this episode pretty much serves a double purpose. With Jack, we finally now know why he ended up stranded there in the first place. And I gotta admit, the animation style for the old, like in the past, is very well done. It still feels like a classic episode of the series. And it's nice to see Aku again, voiced by Greg Baldwin. Greg Baldwin delivers a good job with Aku. He's no Mako, but he's just as good. He really is, and it shows just how demented he is. Now we also finally learn in a flashback how he ended up stranded in the future in the first place. And I thought Jack was going to be heading home, but knowing how this show is, no way. No way, no how. Aku destroys the last time portal, and Jack's in a rage. In turn, let's just say that he does something that he ends up regretting, and we finally learn why he lost his sword in the first place. He lost his way. Now we shift to the present, and boy oh boy, this episode is where it truly shines. May we forget that Ashi seems to have a liking for birds? Giant birds that love her? That's pretty cool. Basically, the episode is twofold. Jack enters the spiritual plane of existence to regain the sword and everything, while on the outside of it, Ashi has to contend with an army, as well as her own mother. The atmosphere in the episode shifts. You have one side that is just all peaceful and quiet. I like the tones that are like conflicting between the two. It's just that good. Like one scene when Jack arrives to meet with somebody and prepares tea, it does so in a proper and traditional manner. I love it. While on the other side, it's all bloodthirsty, full of noise and full of intensity, as Ashi has to deal with an army of whatever these guys are to take down, like, they want to take down Samurai Jack, and she does so in an epic fashion. Ashi is a strong character. Really strong, and she's not afraid to take crap from anybody. It is just so awesome seeing Ashi kick butt. That is a defining moment for me, because Ashi is just so awesome. But the weird thing is that there's a lot of game nods, like for example with Earthbound, with Jack traveling to a spiritual place like Magisant, or rather in a way it looks like it. You have Earthbound, you have The Legend of Zelda, I'll explain that in a bit. You also have Dynasty Warriors too, with Ashi taking on the entire army single-handedly. That is insane! It really is insane. It's just that awesome and just so epic. And it contrasts a bit. You have loud and then you have quiet. And the quiet bits start getting serious when it has to involve Jack's inner demons. Yes, the inner demon's back and it's not taking stuff from anybody. But what I really like the episode is that Jack finally is in balance by ridding what held him back. And by ridding that, he has finally regained what he lost. Which meant that his sword's back, his uniform's back, and it also means goodbye to the beard and the long hair, because I love seeing Jack with long hair and a beard, and seeing that all go away and just poof like in seconds was just really awesome, but also really sad, because I liked bearded Jack. Bearded Jack kicked more butt than the previous Jack. Oh, and Ashi finally takes on her mother, the leader of the Assassin's Guild that were ordered to kill the samurai. And it was an emotional fight. Ashi now knows the truth, but her mother ain't gonna listen to her and instead wants to kill her and Jack. And yeah, I was gonna say this, but yep, in this episode, Ashi commits matricide, the sin of killing your own mother. And in a series like that, yeah, that just threw me right out of left field, because normally I thought that it wouldn't happen, but since she was forced to fight, she didn't have a choice. And in turn, matricide was committed. I'm not at liberty to explain that sort of thing, but the point is that this episode was just very, very good. The atmosphere shifting between the two tones is done brilliantly. It really is done brilliantly. The animation is just rock solid. The plot is very nice. It's very nice, with a resolution that continues on into the next episode, and seeing that this is actually a continuing story. I love it. We're only 3 episodes away from the series finale, and this series finale is going to be massively huge. And no, I'm not spoiling it, because that would be a massive sin. What I am going to say is that I am looking forward to next week's episode, and it is going to be even grand. My final score, it's obvious. I'm giving it a perfect 10, because the episode was amazing. We get a flashback in the beginning explaining how Jack ended up there in the first place. And then it shifts to the present, and then you have the atmosphere shifting, which is done very well. It's like 2 separate plots happening at the very same time in real time. It's amazing. It's awesome. And it's sad that we no longer have Bearded Jack. What can you do? With only 3 episodes left, I'm excited to see how the story ends. I really am. And I know many of you guys are too. We've waited 12 years and it's going to be worth it. But I could go on and on talking about the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, watch it, then come back to my review. I could go on and on talking about it. But what's the point? There's not much to say in a 22, 25-minute episode when you should just watch it instead, and you'll see what I mean. I love it. Last week was Ashi's journey to learn the truth. This week is a journey of rediscovery and a journey of battle. Loved every bit of it. Really did. Amazing episode. Genndy and the guys have done it again. Not to mention the chemistry between Jack and Ashi is still very strong. And I can tell it's going to culminate over throughout the entire season. With 3 episodes left, of course. But what do you do? I mean, I loved it all throughout. And I'm going to say right here, this is another great episode. Perfect 10. Very solid. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Apologies if this review's not up to par. It's late at night and I need to get me some sleep. So yeah, that's it for this Samurai Jack episode review. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. Next week is episode XCVIII. And let's just say after seeing the preview, things are going to get pretty scary. Believe me, I am excited for it. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out.